Persia's name is Ahasuerus. We said that name earlier. The king. Ahasuerus is the king. Here are his royal guards. Ahasuerus sits on the throne. The king has a faithful servant named Mordecai. A faithful servant named Mordecai. Mordecai is a Jew from Israel. Mordecai's daughter, but listen kids, Mordecai's daughter is the queen, but nobody knows that the queen is actually his daughter, or that she's a Jew. Her name is Esther, and she's up in her house right now with her maidens in her royal palace. There's Esther. There's all her maidens in her attendance. There's another man in the kingdom, and his name is Haman. Haman is a very rich man, a very honorable man. But Haman hates Mordecai. When Haman walks through town, the people move out of the way when Haman walks through town, and they bow to him because Haman is very powerful, and Haman is very, very wealthy. Haman likes it when all the people bow to him. The only man that won't bow is Mordecai. And Haman hates that. The king is on the throne reading the history of the kingdom of Persia. And as he reads their history, he sees that 5 years ago, Mordecai saved his life by exposing a plot by 2 of his servants to murder him. And the king, as he reads the history, he asks his chief guard, Harbona,
"What has been done for Mordecai for saving my life?"
"Nothing, my king."
"Are there any of my lords in the courtyard?"
"Yes, my king. Lord Haman is there."
"Send him in."
Haman approaches the king. As he does, he holds out the golden scepter. And this is very important, because if he doesn't hold out the golden scepter, whoever steps on his carpet is going to be killed immediately.
"Friend Haman, what should I do for the man who I delight to honor?"
Who would the king want to honor more than me? Surely it would be me that he wishes to honor. Put this man on your royal carriage and have one of your most honorable lords walk before him, saying, 'This is what the king does for the man he delights to honor.'"
"Well spoken, Haman. Go and do that for Mordecai."
As he says
Yes, my
that,
king.
as he says that, the guards go to the royal carriage and prepare it. And Haman says to Mordecai,
"Mordecai, the king wishes to honor you. Yes, he's delighted to honor you. Would you have a seat in his royal carriage?"
they put it down and prepare.
"Why, of course." "Thank you, my king."
This is what the king does for the man he delights to honor. This is what the king does for the man he delights to honor. This is what the king does for the man he delights to honor.
They take Mordecai out through all the streets of the city. And through all the streets of the city. And through all the town, Haman tells everyone, this is what the king has done for the honorable Mordecai.
This is what the king does for the man he delights to honor.
Everyone loves Mordecai, but Haman now has been humiliated because he had to carry Mordecai through the streets. Haman now hates Mordecai more than ever. And while Mordecai is getting out of the king's carriage and his servants are putting it away, Haman begins to think up a plot. And while Mordecai goes back to his place and talks to the townspeople, and they walk through the streets and they're selling their wares, Haman approaches the king and he says,
O king, live forever.
"Peace and long life to you as well, my friend Haman."
Great King Ahasuerus, I noticed a group of people sealed with the king's ring, that on a certain day these Jews may be destroyed from all the provinces of your kingdom. For it does not profit the king to allow them to live. Also, I will pay $500,000 into the king's treasury to cover the expenses of exterminating them all.
Very well, Haman. Pay the money into the treasury and it should be given back to you so you can get rid of these Jews.
They take the law and they sign it with, and they seal it with the king's ring. And as they do, Haman and the king begin to rejoice. But little does the king know that his new wife, Esther, is a Jew. And if the plans are carried out, Esther will be killed as well as Mordecai. And after the kingdom finds out about the law, the people in the street begin to talk one to another about what's happened. Why has this been done? They don't understand as Haman heads back to his house. When Mordecai hears about it, he begins to pray and ask God to help him.
Zeresh, my wife, listen. The king went for it. He signed the law. Soon, all the Jews will be dead, as well as that hated Mordecai.
That is excellent news, my great husband.
Well done, son.
Thank you, Father.
Why don't we do this? Why don't you have this done? Why don't you have your servants build a gallows that can hang Mordecai on?
That is a great idea. We will make it a feast day and kill Mordecai and all of his people.
They all agree to their evil plan as they go back home. Those who hate the Jews rejoice, but everyone in the city doesn't understand why the king has signed such a law. The plot to kill the Jews and Mordecai begins to unfold. As it does, Mordecai prays and asks God to help and deliver his people. What will happen? Will the Jews be killed? Will Mordecai die? What will happen to Queen Esther? Will Mordecai's evil plot become a reality? Will Mordecai be hung on the gallows tomorrow? Be here tomorrow at Vacation Bible School and we'll find out what happens. All right, let's give him a hand, guys.